Before this, we were the number one tattoo shop in the state. And it's just me. My wife is my manager, and my daughter, who I'm teaching, she was just about to finish her second year apprenticeship. So, this isn't some conglomerate. This is a mom and pops, work, blood, sweat, and tears all the way from the ground shop.
As many of my regular listeners know, I don't do interview segments within the show often. Outside of the President of the United States, it's very rare for me to have a guest. But ladies and gentlemen, we're at a critical time. Bill of Rights seems to have taken a vacation. The Constitution's being used as a tissue by overreaching political bureaucrats, and real Americans are suffering. And I have one of those Americans with me right now. I have with me Mr. Jax Myers, the owner of Apex Tattoo Factory. Jax, thanks for joining the show. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me, Dan.
Well, let me tell you why Jax matters here and why I decided to have him on the show today. I was sitting in my house on the weekend scrolling through Twitter looking for show content, and I saw a rather troubling video. And when I say troubling, I'm underselling it. It was of a man being hauled out of his tattoo business for the crime in this new Orwellian era we live in of daring to open up his business and crack the door. He was subsequently hauled out in handcuffs and arrested for opening his business. That man was Jax Myers. Jax, please explain to me what happened, why you opened the business that day, and how we got to this point in your state of North Carolina.
Yeah, so thank you again for having me. I appreciate it. You're a great patriot. This is the big dog right here. Basically what had happened was I've been attending the reopen NC gatherings up at the state capitol, talking to small businesses. And, you kind of always feel like you're alone. I was a pretty private guy before all this stuff happened. But, a lot of small business companies have multiple rents and multiple bills. And so sitting at home for 7 weeks and basically none of us are getting any kind of money or relief to help us out. So our savings are dropping double fast. And I was feeling the pain and went out to this protest, and I found out that just about everybody I talked to was a small business owner, and all of them were saying the same thing as me. We were weeks away from closing. And this was my dream, man. I've been doing this. I never thought I'd be a shop owner, but I've worked really hard. I had to keep another job just to start it up. And basically what had happened was that, people were speaking out against the closure, and I'm hearing these stories and I'm feeling my own. I have 3 daughters. I just bought a house. I also have to pay the rent up where my shop is. And one heartbreaking story after another, my heart broke. And I have my shop, you can't really see from the video that they put out there. It's a bunch of small businesses in an L shape. And so I was doing an interview with a French reporter, and at my shop, she wanted to do it at my shop. So I stopped into my buddies. They're still open. And I was talking to one of the ladies that works behind the counter, and even the open small businesses are only making a third of what they normally make. Everybody's cutthroat, and the little guy's not getting anything. Everybody I talk to is either filed and it's still in filing, or they just flat out been denied because you got to have all this fancy paperwork, and the lines are clogged up. You can't make a phone call or anything. And when my people right next door to my shop were suffering too, that was the nail in the coffin. I told myself,
now, a couple questions for you on this, Jax.
Okay.
Your business beforehand, was it relatively profitable? In other words, the government shut you down. It wasn't that you were losing. You were going to shut down anyway.
Yeah. Before this, we were the number one tattoo shop in the state. And it's just me. My wife is my manager, and my daughter, who I'm teaching, she was just about to finish her second year apprenticeship. So, this isn't some conglomerate. This is a mom and pops, work, blood, sweat, and tears all the way from the ground shop. And just to be number one in the state and have that pride on your shoulder, it's and just taken away for what?
I say that because the government did this to you. I mean, that's not a matter of my opinion. the same government that had you put in handcuffs and dragged out of your shop, that same government did this to you. Again, not a matter of my opinion. I'm not you, and I'll ask you this question next, and I want to keep you forever, but I'll ask you this question next about who, blame and go around. But I'm just stating as a matter of fact that you were profitable, you were doing fine, and then all of a sudden the government comes in, puts this questionable edict out. You could have probably operated safely, but we'll leave that for another day. And then all of a sudden the same government, when you dare to show up and open your door, locks you up. Now, having said that, did they issue you a warning? And who actually arrests you? Is it, forgive me, I'm not familiar with Apex. Is that a sheriff's department? Is it a police department?
It's a local police force. Yeah. And so I was warned. In fact, I don't hold any harsh feelings toward the Apex PD. A lot of them were my friends. Some of them guys are tatted up because of me. And that was probably the hardest thing, was putting a mark on my town. I lived there before I moved in January. And of course my business is still there. They tried their best not to arrest me. And basically the way that the emergency stuff that's happening in the state is going down is they'd have fired everybody in a row till somebody did put cuffs on me. And that's the statute that's enlisted right now, is that it could have been 10 forces. They'd have went through every cop police officer until they did find one that would have put the cuffs on me.
Jax, I get it, and I don't want to put you in a bad spot. I sincerely don't. And when I say I get it, I've spoken to you on the phone, and I think you've been unbelievably gracious to people who put you in a bad spot. The fact that you're not pinning the blame on the police officer, and that's okay. Again, you're the one suffering here. You're the one who had handcuffs on, not me. Just having been a police officer, I have to tell you, and I'm not looking to pile on police officers. I've been there. I've backed the blue my entire life. But I just think it was incredibly poor judgment. I'm not expecting a response. I don't want to put you in a bad spot. Having said that, what are your next steps here? Are they threatening your license now? Are you going to be able to open up? Is there any potential for a North Carolina opening up? And what have they done with the charges? Are they actually going to move forward and prosecute you for this? And what are they going to charge you with? Felonious adherence to the Bill of Rights?
Well, see, what the thing is the media has actually downplayed the crap out of this. They cut most of my story out. They charged me with a class 1 misdemeanor, which they're not reporting, in a $2,000 fine. Okay. They did charge me. They did process me. I do have a court date. This was no show for the sake of showboating. And the goal is, truthfully, they put us all in our houses in a matter of a week or so. So if these people, my people, North Carolina people, are suffering, and this isn't about me anymore. This is about all North Carolina businesses and opening as soon as possible, just as quick as they got that relief money out. They need to subside and go back to their communist house or wherever the hell they come from and let us open North Carolina.
I can tell you're pretty pissed. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you one bit. Well, listen, I'm going to leave it there with you, but I want to make a little announcement on my show. I haven't told you about this, right? He's like, what is he talking about? You kind of have an idea, I'd guess, but I'm coming up there. I'm promising you now. I am coming up there for a tattoo. I'm hoping to bring a few friends. We're going to wait. I don't want to put you in any trouble. We're going to wait just so the North Carolina, whoever the communists in North Carolina, we're not doing anything illegal to put Jackson. We're going to wait for the store to legally open because I don't want to put Jackson on the spot. But we're going to go up there. I'll bring one of my camera guys. We'll put it on the show. I don't even want another tattoo. Maybe you can clean up the ones I got now. I got one here, got one here, got one there. Maybe you could do that. But we got to do a tattoo. What's that?
We got to give you a We the People tattoo.
But I wouldn't mind that at all. Maybe we'll throw one across the top of my back. My wife was like, you're not getting another tattoo. I said, for Jax and for the cause of liberty, I am getting another tattoo, and I want to pay for it in advance. So I'd like, Paula to reach out, my wife, and I'd like to figure out a way to pay for that in advance and maybe cover someone else's tattaoo too, just to get you some money. Hey, it's just a legitimate business transaction. I'm just paying in advance. So, all right, Jax, does that work for you?
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, thank you. I really do appreciate And hey, we need to reopen North Carolina. Everybody stand together. Let's stand up together. Unity, numbers,
Thanks,
all of it.
America needs to hear from more people willing to stand up like yourself. Hey, you have a website? I know you do. I saw, but give your website out so people can go there. If you're anywhere in the Northeast, matter of fact, if you're anywhere in the world, we have a big audience and they are the best. I am not kidding. And you need a tattoo, go to Jax's website and schedule a tattoo when he opens so the communists can't arrest him. What's your website?
It's www.apextattoofactory.com.
Apex, A-P-E-X, tattoo-factory.com. Everyone, let's crash this website today. This will be the best website crash ever. Everyone go there today and schedule a tattoo with Jax at some point. Help this guy. He was willing to stand up. Hey, Jax, listen, man, thanks for your time.
My cell phone the other day. Hey, I appreciate you too, man. Keep up the good fight, man. You're a true patriot.
We're trying. All right, man, we'll talk. We'll keep the audience updated, and we will film that tattoo thing. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.